Dear adrenaline addict, the Pro Watercross World Championships are back in Naples, October 26th to November 4th. Are you ready for some fast-paced, high-flying, wet and wild action? How about incredible adventure and one-of-a-kind fun? Whether you prefer to thrill or chill, Florida's Paradise Coast has a whole week full of watercraft competition. So come on out and make a splash. We'll save a beach chair for you. Love, Paradise. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades. Dear adrenaline addict, the Pro Watercross World Championships are back in Naples, October 26th to November 4th. Are you ready for some fast-paced, high-flying, wet and wild action? How about incredible adventure and one-of-a-kind fun? Whether you prefer to thrill or chill, Florida's Paradise Coast has a whole week full of watercraft competition. So come on out and make a splash. We'll save a beach chair for you. Love, Paradise. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Kurt Nolenberg, this is Jordan Wayman. We're here in Naples, Florida for the Hydroflight World Championships. It's going to be an exciting day. I am revved up, ready to go. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, this is exciting. We're having so much fun. We had our qualifying rounds yesterday. We got to see a lot of good athletes fly and get their ranking for their seeding for the battle rounds today.
And that's it. It is battle rounds. It's going to be a battle all day long. We're here at the facility. We've got 3 different events going on. It's really exciting. We've got Hydroflight, of course. We also have what's called SUP-CROSS, stand-up paddleboard cross. My co-announcer here, Jordan, is going to be competing. He's actually leading the championship series, and with any luck, we're going to finish it out here in Naples. We also have enclosed racing boats. What's the term that they use for them?
They just told me, I was talking to them in their riders meeting, they just call them race boats. They do have different categories. They have, this is a smaller two-cylinder, two-stroke motor, and then they have different classes. But today, for this event, they're going to have their smaller boats go out there and race today.
So if you stay on prowatercross.com, go on Facebook, check us out there. You can go to live streaming 247.com. Thanks to Richard Ignacio. Maverick, thank you very much, as usual. And looks like we got a Hydroflighter.
Yeah, so
getting ready to go.
Without further ado, this is going to be Matt Stubbs as he's making his way out to the contest area. Let me tell you a little bit more about him. Matt Stubbs is all the way from Gold Coast, Australia, 26 years old. He's sponsored by Jetpack Entertainment Australia and topsports.com.au. Okay, all right, judges are ready. Matt, are you ready? Minute 30, here we go. Qualifying round for Matt Stubbs, all the way from Australia.
Wow, Matt just drops that thing. Look at him throwing it in 3 different directions at once. This is the first time that I've seen this unit. That looks absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of water spraying down there. There's a lot of factors that you have to keep in mind. That you got to watch the hose. You got to make sure you watch your machine, make sure everyone's okay. He's doing all types of flips going into the water. We did see Emil do some as well. Looks like he came down. We got our safety ski out there.
Apparently we're missing a rig. We got Matt, though. The important thing is when Matt's still above water.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's they have a safety feature on there with an eject so that it'll be able to get him out. Looks like he's okay.
All right, we'll bring him on in.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to let Matt get back on there. He's done. All right, well, that was exciting, Jordan. I don't know what happened there, but wow, that was crazy, man. He was moving in at least 2 different directions at once and switched those directions as he was going up, coming down. I'll be honest, it was happening so fast, I didn't even know what to call those moves. I mean, a spin, of course, but
but the thing is with these riders, they got to show all their abilities to accumulate the most points for their rankings for their battle rounds. We're gonna have our pit crew go down there and check everything out, and we'll see how it goes.
Jason, we're live.
Okay, so we're going to start with our amateur division. We're going to start with our amateurs. So if we can have our amateurs please make their way over to the staging area. I'm going to step out over here, Kurt, so you can still stay there.
All right. We're going to have Anthony Albrecht. He's out of Fern Park, Florida, 55 years old. Eric Richard out of Noumea, New Caledonia. He is sponsored by Team Fly North New Caledonia. And Richard will be going first. He's also sponsored by Team Fly Korea, K&K, and Jet Paradise. Rounding out the field for the Hydroflight amateurs, Sammy Mazin. He is out of Cyprus. He's sponsored by Crania Flyboard, Pumps Fitness, FG Water Sports.
Yeah, that's right. We all got together last night. We have people coming from all over the world, from different parts of the world, and we got to sit down and learn all their names and learn about their countries. And it's really cool how their stories, how a lot of these riders get here. So it's a lot of fun.
Let me translate. You guys went out and got hammered last night. And bonded.
Yeah, we had a great time. We learned a lot about each other's cultures, and it was a lot of fun. So this is going to be. Yesterday we had our qualifying rounds. This is going to be the first of our battle rounds. It's a double elimination. So the person with the lower seed will go first for their battle rounds. Anthony Albert will actually have a bye this round just because there's 3 riders in this category. And we will go through their first runs today and then move on to their juniors. And we'll start our first paddleboard race.
Well, let's talk about that double elimination. How does that work, Jordan?
Yeah, so double elimination, if the first seed goes through and wins all the way through to the first place, they will be crowned the champion. But if they make it to the finals and they lose one time, that's their first loss against someone that's already had 1 loss. And then they will actually battle again to redeem that, either redeem or have an upset.
There you go. So double elimination. You can lose 1 and still be in it. Once you've lost 2, you're out.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be looking for some exciting competition. We got a lot of different classes here. We're going to start out with amateur, and Eric Richard is going to be our first competitor as soon as we get everything ready to go.
Yep, I see him working away across the beach. He's also known as Captain Ricky. All the way from New Caledonia. I had to learn where that was. I had no idea where New Caledonia was. When they were showing me on the map on my phone, the little blue dot was covering the whole island.
That was New Caledonia. Yeah, it's right next to Antarctica, right?
Somewhere around over there.
I'm kidding, of course.
So it was kind of cool to get to know them. Their whole family's here to compete. They're competing in the jet bike, the board. They got their son and their daughter competing, and so it's a lot of fun to see that their family's out here having a lot of fun.
Well, you know what? Let's take this opportunity as we wait. Matt, you feeling okay? Can we talk to you for a minute over here? Got him on camera. So, Matt, I have never seen that type of hydroflight before. Absolutely spectacular, man. The speed at which you were turning and the amount of tricks that you were doing one after another, absolutely fantastic. And then what happened?
Yeah, so I was having a lot of fun out there, and then just mid-trick, my arm decided to snap off, so had no control and had to come back down to the water and eject out the jetpack. So we'll try to get it fixed up and get back out there.
All right, so is this something that needs to be welded? Is it aluminum piece, or just in case somebody around here happens to have you need a welder, or?
Yeah, so where the arm attaches to the shoulder, it's just two screws that hold it in each side. But the main problem at the moment is we need to find the arm because we lost it out there. It just snapped completely off. Yeah.
So we're looking for a diver, is what you're saying? It's not floating. Oh man. Well, Matt, are you going to be out there in any other classes? All right. Well, we're going to do our best to get down there and find it. We'll look for a diver for you. Thanks so much.
All right. So right now we have Eric Richard out there, and this is the first battle round of the amateur category. So if we can have all their judges to their places. Okay. All right. 2 minutes. All right. Mr. Ricky, are you ready? Judges are ready. Here we go. 2-minute rounds. Here we go. Take it away. All right. Yeah, so we have all different types of classes. This is our amateur class. This looks like he's doing a little slalom here. It's where you can do a little pendulum back and forth. I also call that the leg burner. It's a great leg workout. Here we go. Setting up for his next turn. He's going to do a 360. All right.
Now, do I have this right, Jordan? Do they call him the captain?
Yes, Captain Ricky.
And where does that come from?
They own and operate a rental operation down there in New Caledonia, and they call him the captain. He's the one that kind of got it all started, and he's their ringleader for their establishment they have down there in New Caledonia.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I see he's got somebody else controlling the throttle, and that's what they were doing in the amateur class, correct?
Yeah, so an amateur, that's actually his son flying him. And you can see they both have little antennas, one on the side of his helmet. That's BB talk and waterproof communication, so that way they can communicate to each other, make sure they have the proper throttle thrust, and making sure they're keeping safe distances away.
Reminds me of my favorite Martian, having the little antenna there.
Yeah, all right.
All right, 30 seconds left in his routine. The cap.
All right, here he goes. He's getting ready to set up for his next trick. He's going to do a high slalom up there. So, you can slalom at different altitudes to show the judges the control that you have. All right, and that will do it for Eric Richard. from New Caledonia. Give him a round of applause. All right. Next up, we're going to have Sammy Mason from Kyrenia, Cyprus. All right, Sammy Mason in the water. He's getting ready. Let me tell you a little bit about Sammy. He's from Kyrenia, Cyprus. He's sponsored by Kyrenia Flyboard, Pumps Fitness, and FG Water Sports. Okay, if Anthony Albert, if you can get ready, you're going to be battling the winner of this round.
Check.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we got. Okay, Sammy, are you ready? All right, judges are ready. 2 minutes, here we go. Take it away.
Dolphin dive. 360 spin, comes out of the dolphin dive, another 360 spin in the water. Trying to get that hose set up properly for his next move. Looks like he's having a little issue with the MEK out there.
So Sammy Mason looks like he got his ski up and running there. As you can see, they have a electronic management kit. We call it an EMK, and that's what kind of controls the throttle. And it's a wireless Bluetooth connection to the machine. However, if it goes underwater for more than half of a second, it will automatically shut off the machine for safety.
That seems like a great thing. Oh, nice backflip. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a thing with that much horsepower wide open in a dolphin dive and trying to drag that ski to the bottom of the lake.
Right. Yeah. It's a very good safety feature on there.
We're right there.
There he goes with a big dolphin dive. All right, and that will do it for Sammy Mason, all the way from Kyrenia, Cyprus. What a great run. That was a good battle between Eric Richard and Sammy Mason. The judges will tally up their scores. Okay, hey, staging crew down there, Sammy's going to be able to go right back out because how it's going to work is the battle between Sammy Mason and Captain Ricky is going to go to Sammy Mason, the first winner of our battle rounds. And so Sammy will now battle between Sammy and Anthony Albert. So Sammy will actually go again and battle. Sammy needs to, get out there now. Malvin, if we can have Sammy get back in his boots, he's going to battle against Albert. He's our first win of the battle rounds, and so now he's going to go against Anthony. So yeah, Sammy, if you can get back out there, you're going to be battling against Anthony Albert. Anthony, and then after Sammy's going to go, after Sammy, then we'll have the first battle against Anthony, and then we're going to have our first paddleboard race. Yeah, so paddleboarders, if you guys can stay just to the east here a little ways out of this course here, the buoys here. That way we don't have any mishaps or anything. So with this double elimination, some of our classes, they have not a large amount of athletes in each one. So some of these riders are going to fly back to back. They're going to really have to strategize for their battle rounds. Adds a whole new element to the elimination rounds. All right, Sammy, if you can make your way to the contest area, we are ready for you. And then right after Sammy, we're going to have Albert. So Albert, if you can get in your boots ready to go, we need you on the other machine. And we will battle it out, and then we will have our first paddleboard race of the day.
SUP-CROSS.
All right, Sammy's making his way to the contest area from Kyrenia, Cyprus. We just saw him fly. He's going to fly for the battle against Albert. Evan, if you can clear yourself from our contest area, that would be great. Just looking out for you, my brother.
Austin, we need all the paddle boarders to shore so that we can get this going. We can't start until you guys are on the shore, please.
All right. Sammy, are you ready? Judges are ready. 2 minutes. Ready, and got our timer lady getting ready. All right, here we go. This is Sammy Mason from Kyrenia. Here he goes. He's going to set up for his next trick. Looks like he can do a backflip. Going into another backflip with a side twist to it. Adding different variations to his flips. Trying to accumulate as many points as possible for the judges. So that way, that's how the battle rounds will go. Person with the highest points at the end will win.
Wow, nice aggressive slalom move by Sammy there. Jordan, tell me, when you're getting at the height of this and you're trying to put together these tricks, I notice a lot of the flyers will stay up there for what seems to me to be an inordinately long period of time when you're trying to get other tricks going. Why are they doing that?
Yeah, so one of the main things is that these riders are watching is their hose management. So sometimes when they fly up, they're setting the hose up for their trick. So then that way it can stay out of their way, make sure they don't come in contact with it, make sure the hose doesn't come in contact with the machine to make sure that everything stays safe.
Yeah, if they don't have enough free hose, they can get stopped mid-trick, and that would not be good.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Well,
I don't know if you saw, but that last trick that he did, did a Superman with a spin onto it. It's actually a very technical trick that he's going to take account for the judges to see.
yeah, that was radical. He's getting almost horizontal and getting driven that way by that ski. Well,
yeah. It's fun to see our amateurs, performing a lot of these tricks because if they're doing this well in amateur, when they get up to pro, it's going to be awesome to see them in the future. All right, and that will do it for Sammy Mason, all the way from Kyrenia, Cyprus. And that was that was his run for the battle against Anthony Albert. Let me tell you a little bit about Anthony, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony is actually deaf. He cannot hear. And so communication with Anthony can be challenging at times, but we're able to accommodate for him. So his run is a little bit different. He's going to go out there, but since he can't hear us hear a whistle or anything, he's going to tell us when he's ready to start. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys could look over here, be at the booth here. So since clapping in the deaf community they can't hear, their sign for celebration is like this. So when he's finished and he comes back to the dock, if we can all do this for him, that would mean a lot to him. Just letting him know that he did a good job. This is the sign for clap. So that'll be really cool for him. All right, and after Anthony, we will move to our first paddleboard race of the day. And I will actually be jumping down there and be paddling with them. It's going to be a good time. All right. So judges are ready. Anthony is going to be he's going to be out there. All right, so Anthony's going to give us the sign to start. Yeah. No, I'll tell you. He's going to give us a sign. He's still going to just make sure everything's okay. Okay, he says he's ready. Nope, not yet. Still says one more check. Okay, ready? And there's his sign for starting. Here he goes. He has 2 minutes. He's going to start his run off with a backflip. He's going to watch the hose, make sure he has good control. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. Another backflip, nice and big. Going into another backflip, doing 2 backflips back to back, one right after another. Here he goes, he's going to do some spins. Flying backwards and forward, showing the judges that he's got lots of different talent. One of the judging criteria is your showmanship, how well you put on a show. Look at that slalom there. High pendulum back and forth. Doing some spins up there, having a lot of fun. Here he goes, setting up for his trick. He's going to come down and lay out backflip. He's going to just spins right out of it, right out of the top. Here he goes. Big Superman right off the top. He's going to make sure everything is safe. Big dolphin dives coming in and out, spinning out aside of the dolphin dives. Going into his next one. Reverse dolphin dive. There you go. That's where he's going to stand up backwards and dive backwards into the water. Showing different variations of dive moves. Getting ready to set up, laid out, backflip, spinning right out of it right after. And that will be it. That will end his run. So, Albert, Anthony, what a great run. All right before we start our first paddleboard race, we are going to have our national anthem. We're going to have a quick national anthem. So if you guys can see this flag up here on the side of our tent.
Jordan, if we can, we'd like to ask everybody to remove their hats in respect. And look at the flag up here. If you guys could stand for our national anthem.
So great.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start our first paddleboard race. Kirk, I'm going to turn it over to you. I got to make my way down there, and I got to get warmed up for this race.
Oh, yes, you do, Jordan. That is going to be exciting. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention there. All right, we're switching it up from Hydroflight to SUP-CROSS, SUP-CROSS. That is stand-up paddleboarding. My Hydroflight co-announcer, Jordan Wayant, currently leading the series, headed down there. It's going to hop on aboard. The rest of our competitors coming out. So first up is our SUP Pro-Am. This is going to be 6 different competitors. Once we get Jordan down there. In our SUP Pro-Am class on the #1 machine. That is with the yellow front out of Stuart, Florida, Erie Tenorio. He's sponsored by Flying Fish Boards, Blue Line Shot, and Werner Paddle. On the #5 board, the black and silver. Excuse me, that's the #3 board. Out of Hurricane, West Virginia, our very own Evan Young. He's sponsored by Team Rider, App Boco Athletics, and 425 Pro. #4, that is Mark Athancio, also out of Naples, Florida, self-sponsored. We have Garrett Fletcher out of Pensacola, Florida. He is riding for Garden of Life, Hippo Stick Paddles, and iPerformance. And rounding out the field, Gregory August out of Naples, Florida. He's 34 years old and also self-sponsored. That's it. SUP Pro-Am ready to go. Jordan Wayant on the yellow #11. Jordan, good luck. No. Paddlers, are you ready? Ready? And they're off. Check out the different types of paddling. You'll see some of our paddlers are taking a deep drive, going it all the way the length of the board. Others, quick, short strokes, trying to match. It's a battle for the lead here. And I'll tell you what, just like any type of motorsports, when they get behind and they can run in the draft of the boat in front of them. It helps pull them along, so it is definitely an advantage to be in that second place position or behind the paddler in front until you come to the end of the race, of course, coming across the start finish. All right, paddlers into their second turn. 2 paddlers out in front. Yeah, looks like we have got a reflection there. It looks like the yellow front, that's Erie out in front. And second is Garrett Fletcher out of Pensacola. Those two starting to distance themselves from everybody else already. SUP-CROSS is on the water and going hard. All right, sorry, folks, to have to pull off there. Wanted to get a couple of bits of information. One of the things I want to throw out there in this series, at this location now, we have the longest backstretch, and I'm telling you, these guys' arms are burning, their backs are sore, their legs are starting to quiver by the time they're at the end of this straightaway. And I know this because I tried to do it yesterday, and I couldn't even complete the straightaway. That's why I'm announcing and not racing. Having said that, out in front, Erie Tenorio out of Stuart, Florida. He's got about a 4 paddleboard length over second place. Second is Garrett Fletcher. He's out of Pensacola. So the 2 Floridians out in front. And third, out of Naples, local boy, Mark Athancio. He's in that third place position. And he and Evan are going at it. Evan looks like he might have a little bit of an advantage. Evan Young, our race director, and the driving force behind SUP-CROSS. Watch now as Erie, he's keeping that cadence up. Look at Erie, your leader, digging in deep, strong. He is not backing off one iota. Boy, the battle for third and fourth with Evan Young and and Mark Athancio. Those guys are going crazy, and that's fourth and fifth, not third and fourth, pardon me. And I'm telling you, Jordan Want, the leader, way back in the pack, and we haven't seen this across the country. Jordan has been able to use quick acceleration off the line and hold his position. He didn't get that jump off the start, and boy, he's about a half a lap back right now. All right, now remember, this is Moto 1 of 3. So making the turn out in front. He's led from the very beginning. He's got fans online that are cheering him on. Erie Tenorio out of Stuart, Florida. And look at him pick up the pace for this last sprint through the finish line. Erie going to finish first as soon as that board comes across. And please do give him a big round of applause. Erie Tenorio out of Stuart, Florida, sponsored by Flying Fish Boards, Blue Line Shut, and Werner Paddle. Second, coming across now, Garrett Fletcher out of Pensacola, Florida. He is sponsored by Garden of Life, Hippo Stick Paddles, and iPerformance. Big round of applause for Garrett Fletcher coming through in second. All right, third place making the turn. While we've got a moment. So what we're having is 3 separate motos today for each class. The finishing positions of those 3 motos will be combined. The person with the lowest number of points will win the overall championship. All right, coming up in third position now, Mark Anthensio out of Naples. Big round of applause for Mark. Wisely switches his hat around with the sponsor logo. Well done, Mark. And Jordan Wayant out there on a cruise. All right, I can see he's holding back, waiting for those later motos to pull out that extreme paddling. Evan Young in that 4th position. Yeah, is there turbos? Yeah, I think Jordan forgot his turbo today. Having said that, Evan Young going to make the pivot here. I'll tell you what, it's not easy to make those short little corners that they're having to do going around these. Now, for those of you that may have seen stand-up paddleboarding in the past, a lot of them are endurance events, 30 miles, 50 miles, 6 hours. This is 3 different motos with a lot of turns, and believe me, it takes them out of them. Out of West Virginia, Evan Young, sponsored by Team Rider, Aboco Athletics, and 425 Pro. In the 5th spot, Gregory August out of Naples, Florida. Gregory is self-sponsored, 34 years old, and apparently likes to watch YouTube while he's paddling. Is that a camera down there? We'll look for the highlights later. And our final competitor, Jordan Wayant, gamely trying to drive through before he falls off that board with exhaustion. Jordan putting the paddle to the water. And let's cheer him on. Come on, Jordan, let's make it happen. Stroke, stroke, stroke. You can do it. And folks, as he comes through, 6th overall, a big round of applause for Jordan Wayant. And that is our SUP-CROSS Pro-Am class. Up next, a combined Pro-Am women, amateur, and the single legend. Now, Mark, you going right back out there again? Mark and Athancio just came in 3rd in that race. You going right back out again as a legend? That was a question rather than a statement. And you're like, I don't mind, I'll do it. Of course you will, Mark. And so up now we have Pro-Am women and amateur combined. In the Pro-Am women class on the yellow number 11 board out of Hurricane, West Virginia. She's a team rider for Aboco Athletics. It's Brooke Young. Yeah, I'm looking for a number on this light. All right. On the number 5, white and blue boat out of Bonita Springs, Florida, sponsored by Surf Tech and Dakine, Meg Bossy. In the amateur class, on the, let's see, excuse me, on the 11 board, that would be Sarah. Sarah, paddle in the air. Staskevich, is that correct? Staskevich out of Plains, Montana. Says Michigan here, but I know she's from Montana. You can just tell by looking at that hat. She is self-sponsored. And rounding out the field, the shortest competitor, you may have known, you'll see him again very shortly in Hydroflight. It's Austin Burns. Riders, are you ready? Austin, we need to back you up a little. Riders, you ready? Get to it. All right, cheer them on, folks. Meg Bossy out of Bonita Springs, Florida, getting the hole shot right behind her. Brooke Young. There is Austin Burns. Drag racing, doesn't want to be last off the start. Austin just slapping that paddle in there. Sarah Staskevich in the 4th position. And Austin getting a little help from the shore, telling him, hey, you got your paddle backwards. Try it the other way. You'll go a lot faster. Meg Bossy in the lead, and she is starting to pull away. Brooke Young out of West Virginia making that turn in 2nd position. Got it. We're double live streaming. We're streaming by phone and 24 live streaming 247.com. Thank you very much, Richard Ignacio, for putting us on the World Wide Web. We're looking up front. Meg Bossy out of Bonita Springs, Florida, starting to stretch out her lead now. As we look out there, Brooke Young out of Hurricane, West Virginia. She's from Boco Athletics. She and her husband, Evan, the driving force between the SUP-CROSS National Championship and SUP-CROSS World Championships here this weekend. As we look out there, Meg going in for the distance. And Austin Burns. Look out, Austin, because the woman from Montana, Sarah Staskevich, is all over you. Sarah's starting to dig deep, making a push. Going to try and get by Austin now. Doesn't want to be behind him when they go around that corner. And look at those two battling. The young man driving hard, but Sarah Staskevich, she is pushing hard. Sarah making a move. Cheer her on, folks. Great job. Folks, I wish you could see this lovely face in front of me. Jordan Wayant made his way up here with the help of the medics. Jordan, you look like that took a little bit out of you. Tell us about it.
Well, this course, first off, we have some amazing athletes here. These guys are really strong paddlers. This course actually doesn't have as many buoys as our other courses, and so long endurance is where it's at. Like I like to do lots of buoys turns. There's lots of change-ups, but this long course with few buoys, man, these guys are really strong, really fast, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for sure.
So tell me, I mean, I'm kidding just a little bit. But you know, I've watched you race these things before, and you've done amazing in the past. There's no question about it. And what you've done, for what I've seen, is accelerate hard at the start and get that lead and then be able to keep it. Dude, you got hammered at the start. What happened?
Well, like I said, these guys are very strong riders. So it's around those buoys that a lot of change-up happens, a lot of tipping, and you know, so changing can happen. For me and my run, I did a lot of. I didn't fall around my buoy turns. I feel like I did really well, but man, these guys are so strong on the back stretch. They can just that's their strength, is they do these long races, and that's where they really gain their leads.
Yeah, and it was pretty obvious out there. They started moving, and you know, no offense, Jordan, but dude, I thought that maybe you forgot, like that, you know, the other race you left an anchor in the water.
Yeah,
I thought you might have been dragging it here.
Yeah, that's what it was. Maybe that's what it felt like. But it was a lot of fun. This is a really fun course. I love these athletes. These guys are strong, giving lots of tips on how to paddle faster, and it's just a fun atmosphere, and I really enjoy it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was making commentary that this is only the first of 3 motos, and that you were saving yourself for that second and then that third and most gruesome moto.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, not everybody's going to be able to keep up that pace for 3 separate full motos, no question.
Yeah, definitely the largest course that we've been on this tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I'll tell you what. No, good. Oh, thank you. Good to know. Awesome. Well, let's head out there. Meg Bosey continuing to lead. Now, Meg has just taken off. She's got a quarter lap lead over Brooke. And Brooke then has about another third over, that's got to be Sarah Staskovich out of Montana. Sarah, late interest, just decided to jump in here, and she's in that third place position. Remember, there are 3 separate motos, so the total of all these motos together will give us our overall champion. So, it's not done in the first one. We've got 2 more motos after this, but I'll tell you what, in this combined class, SUP Pro-Am Women, Meg Bosey is out front and going hard. So, SUP-CROSS. Let's use that. SUP, stand-up paddleboard. SUP-CROSS is an adaptation using the stand-up paddle boards, and we throw them into a closed course environment. Most of the paddleboard stuff that you'll see on the web and on television is long-distance events. They take off from a position, and 5 hours later they come back. As we watch Meg Bosey, strong in moto number 1. Cheer her on as she comes through at the end of her first moto. And strong. Great job, Meg. Awesome. Second position now making the corner. That's Brooke Young from West Virginia. And I don't know if she knows, but Sarah Staskovich is making a move now. Sarah long and strong. And I don't know if Brooke Young, she must see her coming up on her. Brooke's starting to pick up the pace. Look at the cadence. Brooke switching sides, keeping it going, pushing hard around that left-hand buoy as she makes the final push. Here comes Brooke Young. Brooke putting that paddle in deep, driving hard, going to make a final push, that sprint to the line. Watch this left-hand pivot turn. Yeah. Brooke doing a cross-bow rudder move to make that pivot turn. Brooke's driving through. Let's help her, folks. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Go, Brooke, go. She's pushing it hard. Sarah Stankovic going to make a move. Young doesn't know she's right behind her. And Brooke Young finishing second in the Pro-Am women. Paddle in the air, Brooke. Well done, well done. Sarah Stankovic going way wide to make that turn. And she does a cross bow pivot as well. Obviously picking up hints from Brooke in front of her. Now remember, folks, this is only the first of 3 motos. We're going to combine those scores, so everybody has got an opportunity heading into the second one. The third and most gruesome moto will be later this afternoon. Don't miss it. All right, let's cheer her on. Sarah Stankovic. Go! She is sprinting to the end. This is her very first SUP-CROSS race. And give her a round of applause. Sarah, we can have you paddle in the air. What do you mean, not enough strength? That's all right. And look at this. We got Austin, young Austin, his first paddleboard race, Austin Burns. Boy, I tell you what, must be nice to be young. He's got to fly. He's going to go out in Hydroflight in a little bit. And we've got one of our paddleboard, other paddleboard competitors. I think that's is Mark out there. Just no, it's not. That is definitely not Mark. Oh no, that's Meg Bossy, the winner. She decided to go back out there and follow Mr. Burns in. All right, Austin, make that push. Here's your final sprint to the finish. Austin Burns. Boy, you can't miss him in that lime green outfit. Austin digging deep, pushing hard, that final sprint to the finish, trying to stay on top of that board. Austin pushing hard, everything he's got. This is his first race ever. Folks, give him a round of applause as he comes across. Austin Burns, great job. All right. Thanks to all of our paddle boarders. Moto number 1 will give you a little bit of rest here.
Dear adrenaline addict, the Pro Watercross World Championships are back in Naples, October 26th to November 4th. Are you ready for some fast-paced, high-flying, wet and wild action? How about incredible adventure and one-of-a-kind fun? Whether you prefer to thrill or chill, Florida's Paradise Coast has a whole week full of watercraft competition. So come on out and
All
make a
right,
splash.
so we're going to jump right ahead into our Hydroflight Junior
Paradise,
class. We're going to have our
Naples,
10 and
Marco
12-year-olds.
Island, and the
We're going to
Everglades.
start their first battle round. We're going to have Austin battle first from Clarkson, Michigan, 11-year-old. You just saw him come across the finish line. What an athlete, competing in both events. He's going to be going up against Gabriel Jacquier from New Caledonia. After that, we're going to go to our juniors 13 and 15. We're going to have William Richard go against Andre Iraturiku from Nicosia, Cyprus. So if we can have our juniors start making our way to the staging area, we will get this underway for our first battle rounds for our juniors.
So Jordan is who's going up first? Is it going to be Andreas or?
No, so we're actually going to start with the 10, 12-year-olds, the juniors, and we have Austin Burns. He's going to go up against Gabriel Jacquier.
Now we're going to have Gabrielle Jacquier.
Yeah,
start,
so in the qualifying round, she actually finished first. So the person with the lower seed goes first and battle it out.
Wow. So Austin Burns, what a stud to get off that paddleboard and then come out and do this.
Good athlete, you know. That's what we love. Being a part of pro watercross is doing all these different events, and it really shows and gets you in good shape too.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. You look twice as buff as you did this morning.
That's right.
All right, I'm excited. These juniors. Now, you know these riders fairly well on a personal basis, Jordan. How long have these junior riders been doing this? Is there any law against them starting any earlier than they do, let's say?
Yeah, there's no law on there, but there are some definite requirements. With the flyboard, you want to be at least 65 pounds. That's the lightest flyer I have ever flown. But we just fly them nice and low to the ground, so low impact when they're first learning. So 65 is a good weight to control those jets. Any lighter, it gets a little bit trickier. So, yeah, we're just talking about our different riders aspects that we have here with our younger groups.
Just going to say I'm Kurt Dolderberg. This is Jordan Wayand. For those of you who are watching online, Jordan has just given us a little bit of an explanation about Hydroflight. And I asked, my question was how young or how light a rider can participate in this kind of competition, and what's safe? When can a kid start learning to do this?
Yeah, around 65 pounds is what we like. That's the lightest I've flown. That was a success. He was just a 7-year-old boy, and he went out there and did it just fine, and it was a fun experience to watch.
So have you tried it with lighter riders and they didn't survive?
I haven't flown anyone lighter, no, but I know the manufacturer of flyboard, Frankie Zapata, he actually flew his son when he was under 50 pounds with a little bit of assistance from the beach and whatnot, so it was pretty cool to see as well.
All right.
In my hometown, though, when I ran, I actually flew a 405-pound man on the flyboard. So he was 7 foot tall, 405 pounds.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me because there's so much horsepower coming out of the back of these personal watercraft. And as most of us know, we learned that in 6th grade, water is not compressible. So as they're forcing that through, it's going to lift up. Have you ever heard? What's the most you've ever heard?
I mean, I've flown 405. If anyone has flown more than that,
Reno
operators, let me know how that went. Yeah, I was down in a lake called Lake Powell in Utah, on Arizona border.
Beautiful lake.
And, yeah, he had a lot of fun. And the fun thing is he actually can't wake surf and he can't wakeboard just because the boats and the boards are all different configures. And so he had a good time because this was a sport he actually could do. He could get up, fly around, change direction, and get that feeling of adrenaline.
I get it. At 6'2", it's I've got some advantages, but there's a lot of disadvantages when it comes to power to weight ratio in whatever sport you're talking about. So the taller riders, it sounds like this is something they should gravitate towards.
Yeah, and any size too. Age-wise, I flew a 72-year-old cross-country runner, grandma, and
wow.
She went out there and had a lot of fun, and so.
When you say I flew a 72-year-old, I'm thinking directly to the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Austin Burns up here getting ready to start us off in our junior 10 to 12.
All right, Austin, we're going to give you a minute 30-second freestyle run. Minute 30 seconds, okay? Freestyle. Okay, judges are ready. Austin, are you ready? Thumbs up, minute 30, take it away. Austin's going to start a little Superman kickback, going into spins. Doing some nice dolphin dives.
Boy, a full 360 when he came out of that. He's doing a little bit of slalom surfing, another dolphin dive. Comes out, a full 360, both directions.
Yeah, if you watch that, that's a really good, he's doing really well, showing the judges he can spin both directions.
Wow, pivoting as he's doing a Superman into a dolphin dive.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Austin Burns pulling out all the stops in this run.
Oh, doing a 720 spin into that dolphin dive. Here he goes, flying up high, flying sideways. Oh, there he goes, a little back spin there into a dolphin dive.
I just got to point out for those of you that are watching online, he just finished a full SUP-CROSS race not 10 minutes before he jumped on this. Boy, to have that kind of energy and enthusiasm.
Right, yeah.
And physical stamina.
All right. Looks like Austin's getting ready to set up for his next trick. Here he goes. Superman, I heard him talking in the pits thinking he might try a backflip. We'll see. And that will be it for Austin Burns, all the way, just 11 years old from Clarkston, Michigan, sponsored by Flyboard Michigan.
Boy, a lot of tricks there, I'm going to say. Austin going back to back to back on those tricks, kind of the stuff that I'm used to seeing in the pro watercross side of, PWC side of things with our freestyle maneuvers. There's some similarities there in different tricks. But wow, Austin really throwing a lot of tricks together in a short time period, Jordan.
Yeah, so that's what these riders want to do. They want to compile as many different tricks as they can, show all the different varieties that they have to accumulate the most points, because he's going to be going up against Gabrielle Jacquier, and she qualified first in her round, and so this is their battle. So they got to accumulate as many points to advance to the next round.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to go with Gabrielle. We're going to switch her out, give her a couple moments, get hooked up.
Yeah, so attention for all the riders. After Gabrielle, if we can have William Richard, if we can have you ready in your boots, ready to go, and we'll have our pit crew go ahead, or our staging crew go ahead and switch out everything. And then Andreas, you will be on in the hole. So we have Gabrielle up, William Richard on deck, and Andreas in the hole. AJ, don't be falling over there.
Big Daddy AJ Handler.
He's our event. He's the one that puts on this event here. So if we can all keep eyes on him to make sure he doesn't get hurt, we need him around.
I got to go talk to him.
Is that like a stand-up jet ski for land?
Oh, talk about fun. Now, I want to come up and ask you, Miss Handler, is this what your physical therapist said you should be doing 2 days after surgery?
Yep.
That is not true.
All right, Kurt.
Actually, this is like walking.
So tell us a little bit about it.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Kurt, but we got Gabrielle Jacquier, all the way from New Caledonia, 12 years old, sponsored by Team Fly NC and Team Fly Carrera and Jet Paradise. All right, so Gabrielle, you have a minute 30. Are you ready? She's ready. Here we go. Minute 30. Here we go. Take it away. All right. Coming around doing some strong slaloms. Coming back and forth. Going nice and high for our juniors. It's always fun to watch them progress and push. A nice big Superman up there on top. Going to go into some more slaloms. The leg burner, as I like to call them. Here she goes, setting up. Nice Superman. Getting parallel with the water, sticking her arms out, adding some style. Here she goes, doing a nice 360 turn. Doing some more slaloms and spinning right into dolphin dives. Spinning out of her dolphin dives and back in. Going back and forth, doing some more slaloming, showing the judges that she's strong. Ooh, nice Superman with some arm flares to it. Spinning around nice and high. Doing some more and more spins, accumulating as many tricks as she can in her run. Nice and high. She's performing them high and low. That is a technique to show the judges that you can control the power at low altitudes and at high altitudes as well. Here she goes, doing some more leg burner slalom. And that will be it for Gabrielle Jacquier, all the way from New Caledonia. That will end her run. Their whole family, their family is all the way from New Caledonia, 15 years of age in our junior class, or 12 years of age, so I'm sorry, 12 years old. So that will wrap it up for our first battle for our Hydroflight 10 and 12. We'll move on right now to our 13, 15-year-old in our category. So next up, we'll have William Richard. Okay, Kirk, while he's getting ready down there, did you want to talk about that contraption down there?
Well, sure. While he's getting ready, AJ Handler's here. This is the DTV Shredder. All right. This Shredder has got 2 tracks on it. It's got a twin-cylinder, 2-stroke engine, I believe 160 cc's. Has a top speed about 25 miles an hour. A little bit later today, we're going to be giving demonstration rides after you sign the waiver. Yeah, anybody will sign the waiver, sure. Yeah. Did I say waiver and life insurance policy?
Kurt,
No.
did you get that waiver signed? I want to see you out there ripping on that thing.
No question about it. Well, Jordan, you're in Utah. So you must have snowmobiled. I've snowmobiled a lot up in that area. This thing looks like it's going to be fun, and I'll tell you what, If we can get this thing down, which we will a little bit later, get it down on the sand and let her rip, it's going to be exciting.
Let's build a jump and watch these guys do some barrel rolls on that thing.
Well, and you want to turn it, we've got handlebars, but you don't turn it with the handlebars. You turn it like a skateboard.
That's awesome.
You see that? I know, isn't that cool? You got a throttle here, you got a brake, but boom, boom, that's your turning. They even have a tow hitch in the back of that thing. I don't know who wants to be behind a track spinning sand at you, but if you want to, they're set up for it. All right, Jordan, we just about ready?
All right, so next up, William Richard from New Caledonia.
Richard, sponsored by Team Fly, New Caledonia, Team Fly, Korea, Can-K, and Jet Paradise.
All right, he looks like he's ready. Minute 30, here we go. All right, setting up his trick, flying backwards. Pointing to the judges, doing some slaloming. Going to a Superman, spinning right off the top. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do some spins. Coming around, keeping that hose in good management. Backflip. It's always fun to watch these juniors throw backflips out here for pushing our sport. He's going to do a Superman to a backflip. Putting different combinations together to accumulate as most points as he can. Another backflip. Doing some high slaloming. Going back and forth into a dolphin dive. Spinning right into the next dolphin dive. Just throwing lots of different variations.
That'll do it for William Richard. Great job out there.
He's also from New Caledonia, 15 years of age. It's always fun to see. And that will do it for our battle round. Oh, sorry, excuse me. That's the first flyer of our battle round. Next up, we'll have Andreas Eroticrito. I've been practicing I've been trying to practice.
Sneezy for you to slay.
All right, so if we can have all of our SUP-CROSS racers to the line, we're going to combine these two heats. All of our SUP-CROSS racers, we can have you make your way to the line. We will start your race here. All right, so this is Andreas Eroticruto, all the way from Cyprus, 15 years of age. Sorry, paddleboarders, I meant to say report to the staging area. This is our last flyer, and you guys will be up next. I'm sorry for the miscommunication. This is our... All right, here we go. Okay, Andreas. All right, judges are ready. Here we go, minute 30, take it away.
Wow, huge drop there. Getting some serious slalom action. Backflip, another backflip. 360, another backflip. Spins around 720 and in the water, just barely missing the hose.
Andreas Eroticruto.
Andreas going off. Look at the amplitude. Putting his thumb in the air, saying, let's get this thing up here, Melvin. We're going for it. Backflip, backflip again. Looking over, looking for a little more height, a little more amplitude. Setting up. Swings down. Full backflip.
Oh, thread the needle.
And
backflip, thread the needle.
two backflips right after it, and a huge Superman to a dolphin dive.
That's spinning. Here he goes. And that will do it for Andreas Eroticruto, all the way from Cyprus. All right, so now we'll have our second moto for our paddleboard racers. We're going to combine these classes. We'll combine our classes because after our paddleboard race of moto number 2, we will move on to our veterans category. No, veterans are after this race. Staging area, veterans are after this moto race. So this race is going to be a combination of both classes making their way to the starting line. All right, racers, to the lineup. Okay, we got all our racers lining up. All right, here they go. They're just getting in their positions. Okay, 15-second warning. On your mark. Get set. Go!
Oh, and a battle going up. Jordan, shouldn't you be out there?
I took a bye this round.
All right. It looks like, oh, Erie, our Moto 1 winner in that second position. That is Garrett Fletcher with the lead. Garrett with the orange trunks flying out front. Erie in that second position. Top two, battling it out again. Garrett Fletcher out of Pensacola in the orange shorts with the lead in second. Erie Tenorio out of Stewart, Florida. Erie sponsored by Flying Fish Boards, Blue Line Shot, and Werner Paddle. Gotta love it. Garrett, he is sponsored by Garden of Life, Hippo Stick Paddles, and High Performance. And Erie trying to make a move on Garrett now. These two are going side by side on that back straightaway. Erie digging deep and hard. Garrett doing everything he can, trying to keep him behind him. And look at this. Who we got coming up in third? Is that Mark and Athancio? I believe it is. Out of Naples. Nope, that's Evan. Evan Young making that pivot turn. The battle for first place. Look at these two paddlers. Stroke for stroke for stroke. Garrett Fletcher, he had the lead. He kept it through three buoys and then out in front. Here comes Erie Tenorio. Tenorio driving hard. First and second going at it on the far left-hand side of the track. Going to make a turn out there. Ario with the lead. Garrett Fletcher in second. These two are battling this entire race. Ario won Moto number 1, and this the second Moto. Garrett Fletcher had the initial lead. Ariel came by, and look at Garrett Fletcher trying to make a move up right now. Erie Tenorio out of Stewart, Florida. Gaining a little bit here as he goes to make that pivot turn. Watch him, folks. He makes that turn quickly. And Garrett Fletcher, oh, Fletcher starting to pick up his cadence. Garrett Fletcher trying to make a move. This will be it. Garrett Fletcher, he's got everything to win and nothing to lose. Ariel finished moto number 1 in first place. Garrett was second. If Garrett can make this move, they will be tied going into the third and final moto. Ari Tenorio looking strong out front. Garrett Fletcher in that second position. Hey, Garrett, short stroking and trying to make that turn. It's Tenorio and Fletcher. Tenorio making the pivot turn. He's got to stay on that board. He does. Makes the turn. And look at him stroke. He's driving hard. He's going to sprint to the line. Ari Tenorio out of Stuart, Florida, going to win moto number 2. Garrett Fletcher out of Pensacola. He is relegated to the second position. So there's your top 2 going into the third and final moto a little bit later. Ari, great job. Garrett, another fine performance on the 404. Mark Athancio out of Naples. Mark in our Legends class. And he is just absolutely brilliantly quick on that blue board, the number 4 out there. Round of applause for Mark as he comes through, the Naples, Florida native. Evan Young starting to make his pivot turn. And look at that, right behind. Is that Sarah? No, that is Meg Bosey. Evan Young making his drive towards the finish. Evan Young driving hard, and look at this, Meg Bosey about to relegate him back a position. Evan Young pushing as hard as he can, and Young just makes it. Great job, Evan, and Meg Bosey pulling strong. I'll tell you what, if that race is another 100 yards, Evan Young, I have the feeling you'd be on the beach. Yeah. Great job to both of you. Meg, great job out there. Gregory August out of Naples finishing up on that light blue number 2 board. Great job, Gregory. Wow, excitement down here. Sarah Staskovich leading Brooke Young. Brooke on the far outside there. Sarah coming back into the yellow. Now remember, this is Sarah's first race. She is a self-sponsored rider, showed up. And boy, what a great job. She's going to be finishing second in the Pro-Am women's category behind Meg. Sarah executing that pivot turn really well. She sets up, bouncing that board. Making that hard paddle on the outside, going to spin that board around. Making a sprint towards the finish. And I don't know if Sarah knows it, but Brooke Young is starting to reel her in. Sarah pushing hard. Don't look behind you. Sarah making a sprint towards the finish line, and her boyfriend, Drake Stanley. Great job, Sarah. Sarah, you're not in a bad position for the overall now. Great job out there. First race for her. Wow. And that, I was just getting a little inside information. Brooke Young felt it was a little bit unfair with her amount of experience to go out there on the long board. She cut 3 feet off that board, took the shorter board, a lot more difficult. Just to kind of even things out, Brooke Young making a push, the last sprint towards the finish. Brooke Young digging deep. Look at the cadence pick up. She's cross-boarding it, pulling out every trick she can. Brooke Young, mother of 3. 3 twins? No, that would be triplets. Brooke Young making a strong finish on the short board. That thing looks like a tiny surfboard. Wow. Mad props to you. Yes, she does look good doing it.
All right.
I can say that because her husband was right here.
All right. That was awesome. That's great. That was the end of Moto 2. So if I can have all of the riders' attention, please, for the Hydroflight, we're going to start our first rounds of battles. Please know that the lower seed of the battle will go first. The lower seed goes first, and they battle against the higher seed. Pardon me, sorry. Correction. If you are the number 1 seed in your battle, you have the option to choose. Pardon me on that. So, the higher seed of the battle will choose. We will get that information from our staging area. And we will start our battle rounds for the veterans, our largest class of Hydroflight on the Hydroflight boards. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say just as how cool it is to watch these Hydroflight flyers fly in the daytime, it adds a whole new element to watch their night show. They're going to have a show where they go out here and fly on the water with lights on their boards, lights on their helmets, going out to music, flying around. It is awesome to watch. Just as much fun as it is to watch in the day, it is so much fun to watch at night. All right, so these rounds will be 2-minute rounds. All riders, 2-minute rounds. Two-minute rounds for our veterans. All right, so it looks like Simon Desra Desire is the proper Malta way. Simon Desire. From Malta. As he's making his way out, let me tell you a little bit more about him. He's sponsored by Flyboard Malta and Zapata Racing and the Zapata official Flyboard show team. All right, making sure the hoses aren't tangled out here. We got our head tech in the water, Malvin, a.k.a. Turbo. All right, looks like there's a little bit of tangle in the hose. Good thing we're getting that sorted out before we start their routine. Just like dragging a leash. When you paddle and you forget your leash on your paddleboard while you're paddling, it feels like an anchor. That's what it'd feel like if we had two machines tied up while these guys are flying. Simon, you do know you can only use one machine for your routine, okay? Just one. Yeah, no 600 horsepower. I think that's how we're going to progress the Hydroflight sport to the next level, is we're going to hook up two machines and have a pipe come together and have two machines push you up. That would be cool. Yeah, a splitter. I think we just found our $1 million idea.
Simon, can you hear me, Simon? Simon. Simon. This buoy over here, do not come in past that. That's going to be your front line barrier. Do you understand?
All right. So just attention to all our SUP-CROSS athletes, racers. We're to finish up our veterans. We're going to do our first rounds of battles, and that'll take about maybe 30, 45 to an hour in between there. And then we will start our last and final moto for all the marbles.
Last moto in our SUP-CROSS, SUP. Are you going to be joining the paddlers in that final moto, Jordan?
I think I may.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I like the way you've been, your plan. Stay out of that second moto, save up your energy.
Come back and
right? Come into the third and final moto and decimate them.
Right. Okay, look, good news. It looks like we got Simon Desiree from Malta up and going. I'm going to be down here on the beach calling out some tricks, watching him. All riders, please just make sure to stay in the contest area. Coming into the contest area and out, so please stay out in the middle. Safer is better, or safety first. Okay, judges, are you ready? Simon is ready. 2-minute rounds. Take it away, Simon.
Huge backflip.
Here he goes, coming around, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do a nice spin all the way up. Superman backflip combo. Ooh, some quick low backflips, showing the judges that he can perform tricks in high altitudes and low altitudes, staying in control of all the jet power. Going to a low double backflip. Coming around, getting ready to set up for his next trick. We're going to see 2 backflips. Maybe he's looking for a third. We don't know, but nice back-to-back double backflip. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to go into a Superman backflip, double backflip, putting together some combinations.
Simon controlling that hose, getting set up for his next trick.
Backflip to, Kirk, backflip to a dive.
He'd like to hear some applause. Let's hear it for Simon.
Laid out backflip, throwing some flair into it. Here he goes, coming up, setting for his next trick. He's going to do 2 backflips. Now, if you notice, a lot of these riders, when they perform their tricks, they want to do it in an up and down motion and have when they come to land their tricks, be outside of the water. Going into a nice Superman there up high. All right, and that will do it for Simon Desire from Malta.
Simon, sponsored by Flyboard Malta. Who we got up next, Jordan?
All right, so that battle round, that will next up. I don't have my sheet. I'll better go up there and look. I'm sorry. Okay, well, right now there's a little. Thank you, AJ, for that horn blast. We have. All right, we're gonna do. There's a quick little safety. We're gonna take a little safety break. Our head tech says he needs about 5 minutes just to get everything safe over there with the equipment. He will be doing that for us.
All right, Jordan, as we take a little break here, we'll get, just want to say to everybody out there, please, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drink some water all day long. We're going to go ahead and do that while maintenance is getting our machine ready. Take a few-minute break. Enjoy the music. We'll see you back in 5 or 10 as soon as they're done.
Okay, it looks like Malvin has got our issue resolved, ready to rock and roll. We're gonna have Carl Jacob Johansson all the way from Norway.
We need our judges to the top of the tower, please. We need our judges to the tower. Yeah,
All right.
Matt Stubbs, Jordan Wayant, come on up.
I'm right here.
Doreen Knolenberg.
I'm over here. I want to tell you a little bit about Carl. He ran his own personal watercraft shop, and now he's going to be traveling in a van, a small footprint, doing some jobs, and he's been out here. He's been in the first 2 World Cups. All right, judges, are you ready? Judges ready? All right.
Got it.
Carl, are you ready? 2 minutes, take it away. All right, he's going to spin all the way from the top of the hose and drop down into a double backflip. All right, he's going to come around, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do a little side kick with a double backflip, going into a big dolphin dive.
Carl got to clear that EMK. Get back out there. Give it a moment. All right, we're going to stop him there.
All right, EMK is back up and running. Here he goes without hesitation. He's going to go right back into his routine. He's going to do a side little kick to a double backflip. He's going to spin all the way up to the top full length of the hose into a double backflip.
Carl, very aggressive out there. Cannot miss his approach. Lots of height, lots of speed.
2 double backflip. Look like looking for the door for a third. He's going to do some really big slaloms. Coming right up, right into a backflip dive.
Big pendulum slalom there.
Oh, he's going to flip on the opposite side of the hose from the direction that he's spinning. So you see they circle the machine to have the hose in perfect position. He's going to flip on one side of the hose, opposite direction of the way he's spinning. So you can flip on either side. Sometimes they do it in a seamless motion, doing 2 in a row. He's going to spin both directions all the way to the top, and he's going to do a drop double backflip. And that will do it for Carl Jacob Johansson, all the way from Norway.
Woo! I'll tell you what, Jordan. Carl was pro last year, turned 40, decided to join the vets. Boy, what a great performance from him. Who's up next? Osbeler Osquar out of Cyprus, sponsored by FG Watersport, Pumps Fitness, Flyboard, Kyrenia, Cyprus, fully sponsored. Oh, somebody having a little bit of fun over there.
Carl, CJ
Wow.
is a lot of fun. He likes to have some fun. And
So that was intentional there.
yeah, that's like kind of like a flare that they like to do, shoot the jets up in the air. So instead of flipping down in the water, they flip them up into the sky and shoot them. And it's like a big firework. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's some people over there that were not prepared for that. They will be ready next time. Man, I'll tell you what, these Hydroflight veterans are putting it down. The strength of Carl, boy, I'll tell you what, he's just going full speed in those tricks. Now, I got to ask you a question because I see at some of when he's going from maximum height down, he'll finish, let's say, a double backflip, and his feet will go into the water, like almost up to the knees, and then he jets right back out. Is that a positive, a negative, or middle, neutral?
Yeah, so they take that into consideration, but considering how high and aggressive the trick was, there's that velocity of the weight of the hose and everything, and so the judges take that all into consideration. He's very aggressive. He's got very strong legs, and so he can whip that hose around really easy, and that's how, if you watch the jet ski on a couple of those, the nose of that jet ski comes straight up because he's so strong.
I almost thought he was going to flip it over, and that's the first time I've seen one of our competitors get a ski that high up in the air, and so I didn't know if that is a positive or a negative. Now, from my perspective, anytime you can get the boat out of the water, that's a positive.
That shows that you have strength to whip all that hose weight around to move that jet ski. And that just goes to show how strong he really is.
Well, I can hardly wait to see the rest of our veteran competitors. We got Oz coming up next. Oscar,
a.k.a. we call him Ozzy. He's all the way from Kyrenia, Cyprus.
Cyprus, that's right near Antarctica, right?
No, wrong direction. Okay, I'm going to come down here and watch him right from the beach. This is going to be the start of our next battle, and we will reveal who wins the next battle after each round. Let me tell you a little bit more about Oscar as he's making his way out. He's sponsored by FG Water Sports, Pump Fitness, Board Kyrenia, Cyprus.
Jordan, can you see behind you real quick?
Yes, sir.
Early trick-or-treaters coming through.
All right.
Oh, they're headed behind us. You missed them. They're on this side.
Oh.
How cute can you be?
All right, judges, are you ready? Judges are ready. Sammy, are you ready? Go ahead. 2 minutes. Take it away. Second battle for our veterans. He's going to set up his next trick. Do a nice low backflip, showing the judges that he can control that power at different altitudes. Going into some aggressive slaloms, pendulum back and forth, really high on that slalom. Just keeping his eye on the hose, making sure everything's staying safe, getting ready to set up for his next trick. He's going to go right into a backflip, looking at the door for thread the needle. Here he goes. He's going to spin. Oh, do a little side kick up there. High slalom.
Ozzy got some great balance.
There's an underflip. That's what they're going to do. A flip and fly underneath the hose. The underflip is a technical trick. It's a lot like the thread the needle, where thread the needle, they'll do a complete backflip and then thread through the loop of the hose. This is where they're going to actually flip right underneath the hose. Here he goes. He's going to do a big dive right up from the top of the hose. He's going to spin out one direction. Here he goes. He's going to get ready to set up for his next trick. Circling the jet ski. He's going to spin into a backflip. Putting together as many combos as he can. Accumulating as many points as he can. Setting up for his trick. He's going to do a Superman to a backflip. More combinations, more tricks, more points. Just stretch that hose out. Make sure it gets in good position. He's going to do a low backflip. Nice high-speed backflip right into a series of two. And for Oscar Obzibler from Kyrenia, Cyprus.
Well, Jordan, a great job out there by Ozzy. Who we got coming up next?
I'm making my way over to the staging area. Looks like we have Bruce Haglund all the way from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Now, Bruce is 66 years young.
That's right.
He is a dentist, and he's been at every one of the stops for the pro watercross. He was in Reno, and he was also in Erie and here, and he also he performed in the night shows.
Yeah, he did a great job out there in Reno. It was really exciting. I'll tell you what, the fans loved it. The night flights are absolutely fantastic. Now, Bruce, I just want to throw this out there, Jordan. He is, I guess he's got his doctorate, but he's now retired, and this is what he wants to do with his life, is Hydroflight.
That's right. That's right. This just goes to show it doesn't matter how old or young or what size you are. Hydroflight on the Hydroflight board, this is for everybody. Anyone can do this. And I'm looking to see you out there.
All right, our flyer coming out. Bruce Haglund.
All right,
Bruce getting set up.
Made his way to the contest area. Judges. Judges are ready. Bruce, are you ready? He's going to do one last little check, make sure everything's okay. Thumbs up from Bruce. Here we go. 2 minutes. Take it away. Here we go. Bruce is getting ready to set up his first trick. He's going to come around way up high and do a nice big backflip. He's going to spin right out of it. He's do some high slaloms way up high. Going into a spin both directions. Showing the judges that he can control all this jet power in either direction. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to spin one direction, two directions, three.
That was a full 1080, 3 revolutions.
Here he goes doing some more high slaloms. Way up high.
Bruce down low, doing the slalom, just skimming the top of the water into a dolphin dive and right back up. Bruce straightening that hose out. Maximum height.
Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do a laid out backflip, spinning right out of it. Looked like he was looking for the thread the needle, going into some dolphin dives. Going back, doing some slalomings from up high all the way down low, spinning all the way around. Here he goes. His setup. Big dive all the way from way back out, stretching his arms way out far.
Beautiful dive by Bruce.
And that will do it for Bruce Haglund, 66 years young, to every stop on the Tour for Pro Watercross. And that will be the end of that battle between Bruce and Oscar. All right, so next up, it looks like we're going to Sean Shaver. All right, yeah, looks like it's going to be Sean Shaver. He's from Houston, Texas. As he's making his way out, he wanted to let people know he has his 10th grandbaby on the way. Sean is sponsored by Zapata Racing, Fly Captain, Precise Technical Service, H2OMG Water Sports, Lakeview Marina, and CKW Plumbing. He's also a member of the Fly Squad. He has a couple of signature tricks. He claims he's the Sean Moo. Calls himself the Fat Ballerina. He's what he has told me. All right. All right, looks like he's going to do some final testing, check things out, make sure everything runs okay. Safety is our first priority. All right, judges, are you ready? Judges are ready. Sean, are you ready? Sean is ready. All right, 2 minutes. Take it away. He's going to start off from the top of the hose into a backflip. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. A little dolphin flip flare. Adding a little click, a little whip there with a flipper. Here he goes. Double backflip. You can hear him laughing out there, having a lot of fun. Going to do some slalom with a low backflip. These athletes want to show that they can perform tricks at high altitudes and low altitudes. Where he goes, he's going to spin all the way to the top. Looks like he's going to drop right into a backflip. Watching the hose, making sure everything is staying safe. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. Spin right, spin left. Superman under flip, and he got it. Underneath the hose, right into a backflip. He's looking right for it, made it all the way under.
The crowd loving that one, Jordan. They know how difficult that is. Sean Shaver going off.
Big laid out Superman comes down and just taps his feet a little bit there. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He can go into a Superman. Watching that hose, making sure it doesn't whip back on that machine. Setting up for a trick, going all the way up to high. Big drop, laid out backflip all the way from full extension. All right, and that will do it for Sean Shaver from Houston, Texas. 10th grandbaby on the way. All right, so now we have Carl Jacob Johansson all the way from Norway starting the next round of battles. This is for the winner bracket finals for our final, to qualify for our final four. All right, judges are ready. Carl, are you ready? Got the thumbs up. Here we go. 2 minutes. Take it away. He's going to spin to the top of the hose. Here he goes, coming around, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do a double backflip. He's going to spin right out of it into a nice, tall, single backflip. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. Coming around. Whip kick, and then to a double backflip. Coming around, he's going to do some slaloming as he circles the machine. Big laid out backflip. Doing some spins all the way back around as he sets up. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to go into a double backflip. He's going to spin right out of it into a single laid out backflip.
Carl Johansson having a couple of issues with the mechanicals, pushing through.
All right, they're going to stop his time. They're going to check out the machine. All right, so what's happened is there's been a small issue with the ski. They're going to take it out, check it out. And then he's going to go back out. He will have 40 seconds left in his run. They're just going to make sure that the ski is running properly. It'll give him 40 seconds. All right, so they're going to switch the machine over. They're going to switch the machine. He's going to, while that's getting checked out, Carl will have 40 seconds left in his run.
Looks like Carl's going to bring it back out, check it out real quick, and then we'll give him the second half of his run.
All right, 40 seconds. Here we go. Finish out his run. He's going to go to a double backflip. Sorry, a whip kick backflip. Going to spin right out of it, going into a slalom. No hesitation into a backflip. Here he goes, coming around, setting up for his next trick. He just been one direction. Backflip, thread the needle. That's where he's going to do one full backflip and fly underneath the hose. Here he goes. He's going to do a side flip right out hesitation. And that will be it. What a run for Carl Jacob Johansson, all the way from Norway. 40 years of age. 46 years of age.
Yeah, Jordan, I'd say that's seriously over 40 years old. Man, what a great job. Carl having some mechanical issues and persevered with a great finish to that run. Who's up next?
All right. All right, so we're going to have one more battle, 2 more riders, and then we're going to start our last and final heat for our paddleboard racing, for our SUP-CROSS. So all riders, be ready. Our next up, we have Robert Jaszkold from Poland. He was one we were eating dinner, and I was practicing how to say his last name. All the way from Poland.
Jaszkold?
Jaszkold.
Jaszkold. Yes.
All right, Robert, you ready? Judges are ready. Here we go, 2 minutes. Take it away. He's going to do a drop flip right into some spins, adding his hands out for some flair, adding some style. There he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to go to a Superman, right to a backflip, getting really parallel with the water. He's going to spin both directions, showing the judges that he can change direction and be in control. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do a low double backflip. Doing backflips from high and low. Does a single one all the way up from up top. Getting ready to set up for his next trick. Here he goes. He can go to Superman. Backflip. Putting the combo. Staying low to the water. Making sure the hose gets straightened out. Circling the machine for his next trick. He's going to do some slaloms back and forth. Real nice and low to the water. And fast. The leg burner. He's going to do a Superman.
Nice layout on the Superman.
Yeah, getting more parallel with the water adds that much points. Here he goes. He is spin all the way down to a dolphin dive. Backflip right out without hesitation. Here he goes, getting ready for his next trick. Coming down, he's going to do a low double back to back to back, putting a series of backflips real low to the water. All right, and that will do it for Robert Jaschdold, all the way from Poland. All right. Robert is sponsored by the Robinson team. All right, so without further ado, we'll move on to our last This is our last rider for our veterans before we head into our paddleboard racing. All right, so we have Oscar all the way from Kyrenia, Cyprus. This will wrap up our first round, or our battle rounds for our Hydroflight for our veterans. Then we'll move on to our last paddleboard moto, and we will move into our jet boat racing. Here we go.
All right, let's go.
Oscar Mark make his way out to the contest area. And please, we have our paddleboarders get ready. We'll have our third and final moto.
Jordan, I want you to save as much energy as possible and slowly make your way over here so that you can be relaxed and ready to go. Our final.
All right, we got Oscars ready. making his way to his contest area. Let me tell you a little bit more about him. He's sponsored by FG Water Sports, Pump Fitness, Flyboard Kyrenius, Cyprus. All right, judges are ready.
Yep.
Oscar is ready. 2 minutes. Take it away. We start out with a Superman from up at the top of the hose. Going into a backflip. Here he goes, coming around, setting up for his next trick. Do a little side whip kick up there. Here he goes, setting up for his next trick. He's going to go into, ooh, underflip, nice and low, making it, flying underneath the hose. Quick back, fast flip, another quick back flip, going right in without hesitation into a dive, dolphin dive. Drop flip from up top. That's where the rides will be up top, and then they drop into a back flip. Here he goes, coming around, setting up for his next trick. He's going to do a laid out back flip. Oh, there's a thread the needle, full backflip flying underneath the hose. Done an underflip and a thread the needle. Showing the judges that he has a variety of tricks. Here he goes, coming around, setting up for his next trick. Laid out, 2 backflips right in a row. Having some fun out there. And for Oscar Osbilier, all the way from Kyrenia, Cyprus. All right, and that will wrap up our veterans battles for now. We are going to move into our third and final moto of our paddleboard racing. And right after that, we will have our power speedboat racing. All right, Oscar, if we can have you make your way back to the staging area.
Jordan Wayant.
Yes, sir.
There is a paddle board with your name on it, and you cannot take that microphone with you.
Okay, I leave my bike here. My mic here. All right, Oscar, if we can have you make your way over to the staging area. Very well. I'm going to go start warming up for my paddleboard race. Everyone, please wish me luck. I have 3 children at home and a wife. Hopefully I don't have a heart attack.
Well, Jordan, thank you very much. That was the last of the battle rounds for right now. Thank you so much. Up next, our third and final moto in our SUP-CROSS. My co-announcer, Jordan Wayant, going back out there for the third and most gruesome moto. Going to put his best effort out there. All of our other competitors are on the water, starting warming up their muscles, getting ready to go. We're going to go ahead and spread out the course. It'll give us about 2 minutes, and we'll get you going. Man, I love this SUP-CROSS, I got to tell you. Just great athletes. I'm hoping that some of the Hydroflight people can come over and try paddleboards a little bit later. And I know I've heard some the paddleboarders thinking, hey, I like that Hydroflight thing. And let's face it, who doesn't want to be in one of these power boats out there in a capsule? All right, we'll give them a couple of moments, get ready, and then we're going to start our third and final SUP-CROSS moto. So, Drake, we'd like to edit that out, but it was live. And I know there's a little confusion with the boaters because you guys were a little bit late going on. We're a little bit late finishing up. This will be the final lap of the paddle boarders, and everything is yours. About 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes.
They're on the horn doing that now. They told me to get you guys all lined up.
All right, paddle boarders, give yourselves a moment here. They've got to clear the track. Let's give you some flat water to start this off. Oh, it's going to be exciting. How many Mark Athencio fans have we got out there? How many Garrett Fletcher fans have we got out there? Yeah, how about Erie Tenorio fans? How about Edward Young? I'm just kidding, Evan. I know you're Evan. Gregory August fans from Naples. All right, boats are almost off the water. Let's get them completely out. Jordan Wyatt, you are lock-cocked, ready to rock. Paddleboarders, are we ready? And go! Look at the battle. Garrett and Erie going through it, paddle for paddle. So, oh, Garrett switching sides. Erie has to follow. Where is Jordan Wyatt? Wyatt pushing everything he has. Jordan Wyatt trying to accelerate away so his wife and children back in Utah can see how well he's doing. Meanwhile, Garrett taking over the lead. He did this in the second moto earlier today. Garrett Fletcher out of Pensacola wants to try and get enough of a lead to keep Erie Tenorio behind him at the end. Erie right behind him. Oh, and almost up on his board as they do that pivot turn. Erie right there behind him. Yeah, I believe that's Mark. It is Mark Athencio. Now remember, Mark is in the Legends class. I think he's potentially over 50 years old. Oh, you can see this third moto starting to take effect. Garrett out in front, but Erie right behind him. Erie Tenorio just full-on tenacity there, staying right behind Garrett Fletcher. Fletcher got to try and pull a little bit out if he can get away from Erie before they hit this back straightaway. That's where Erie made his move in that second moto. Now remember, this is the third and final moto. We're going to add up the points for all three motos, and that will determine our champion in each class. Realize we've got multiple classes out there right now. Look at this. Here comes Erie, side by side with Fletcher. Garrett Fletcher not backing down. They're equal. Look at the paddling. Look at the cadence of these two. Look at the water underneath these two. And Erie making a move, pulling it out. He's got a half a board lead. This is exactly where he made his move in the moto number 2. Yeah, less than a board length, thank you. by Erie and Garrett going at it. And boy, look at this. Mark really starting to reel in our leaders. Our legend rider in the third position is starting to reel out first and second. And Garrett Fletcher starting to pull up on Erie again. Look at these two going at it. Back in the pack. Oh, man. Evan Young, look out. Meg Bossy made the pass, and she is starting to leave you. Speaking of leaving, Jordan Wayant in the back, still has two paddlers behind him. I believe that's Brooke Young and Sarah Staskovich. Your leader's making the turn. Oh, Garrett Fletcher backing off. Gave Erie just an opportunity. Fletcher banging boards. He and Erie are going at it. Look at Fletcher. You can see, you could surf behind those two. Look at the waves that they're putting up, and Garrett Fletcher making a move on Erie. Garrett Fletcher, look at the cadence of Fletcher. Fletcher throwing it down. Here comes Erie. Garrett may have spent himself, and Erie starting to dig deep. Wow, the psychological and physical battle between these two, absolutely crazy. Erie just does not stop. He slowed down his cadence. Garrett thought it was an opportunity. Once they got side by side, Erie started really putting the paddle in the water. Garrett Fletcher going to make that pivot turn right behind Erie. Is he going to hit his board? Almost. And there they go. Your leaders coming in. Look at this third place. Mark coming right back at you. And remember, Mark is in that Legends class. This is an older rider who's putting the effort out. Erie Tenorio making the turn. One more buoy, and he'll be down on that absolute front straight stretch. Garrett Fletcher right behind him. Garrett pulling hard, going deep, long strides. Meanwhile, Erie making that pivot turn, and Garrett Fletcher cutting inside. Fletcher and Erie going at it. Erie almost falls over, and it's going to be a sprint to the finish. Side by side, stroke by stroke. Oh, man, get the cameras out. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, Erie Tenorio by about 3 inches. Yeah, but you got to be right on the line. It was that last stroke. Wow, what a great job. Mad props to both of you. How exciting was that? Garrett Fletcher, Erie Tenorio. What an awesome third moto. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it. Here comes third position, Mark Antancio, also out of Naples. Mark on the Legends class. Did you break your own record, Mark? Oh, I saw you hit the watch. I thought, well, no. Want to go another round? Do not get your heart rate up enough yet? Okay. Mark says he put it all out there, and he's done right now. All right. Our fearless leader, Evan Young, trying to desperately get in front of Meg Bossy, but Meg Bossy making the final sprint in the third and final moto, and here comes Evan Young. Evan Young doubling his cadence. Young right on the back of Bossy. Evan Young may push her off. And Meg Bossy with that. Wow, I'll tell you what, Meg, what a strong finish. Evan Young is done. I'm just going to say it right now. All right. I believe that's Gregory August. Gregory coming through strong. And here comes Jordan Wayant. Sarah Staskovich behind him. Jordan Wyatt, my co-announcer, going out for that third most gruesome moto. And Sarah Stankovic coming right up behind him. I don't know if Jordan knows that Sarah is right there. Jordan going for that pivot turn. Halfway there. He makes it. Here comes Sarah Stankovic. Brooke Young behind her. Jordan Wyatt looks over, sees Sarah there, almost falls over off his board. Jordan Wyatt trying to make this final push. Makes the turn. And Jordan goes off. Sarah Stankovic has an opportunity. In her first race ever, Sarah Stankovic, and she is pouring it on. Sarah going for it. Jordan Wyatt almost comatose on that board. Sarah making that pivot turn. Jordan trying to get up on the board. He can't keep his balance. Here comes Sarah. Sarah slapping him with the board and the paddle. Sarah looks over. And it's a huge battle. It is a sprint to the finish. Everybody yelling. Who's it going to be? Jordan, Sarah, Sarah, Jordan. Make a call. Who's it going to be? Jordan just makes it. Well, I got to tell you, he has been the series leader. Sarah Stankovic, what a great job. And our final competitor, Brooke Young, on basically a skimboard out there, the size of that thing. It takes so much effort. When Brooke gets over here, let's have everybody on the beach root her home. I hope everyone that came today enjoyed everything they've seen so far. We're getting ready for our race boats to come out. They're going to be taking over the beach for the rest of the day. Lots of excitement still coming. Brooke Young making the turn. All right, folks, let's root her on.
That's my wife.
That is his wife. You better be louder than that. Brooke Young making a final sprint to the finish. People all over the world watching her trying to close this one out on that tiny, tiny board. Let's hear it for our final competitor, Brooke Young. And a huge round of applause for all of our paddleboarders. Thank you very much. What a great job. We will have results for you a little bit later. Now we're going to put the water back to where it needs to be. Let's get those race boats out there. We're going to go ahead and switch it over to the RMG Sports announcers. I hope everybody had as much fun out there as we did. And boy, the day's not over. These are incredible craft that are coming out here. We do need all of the paddleboarders, all of our spectators, everybody off of the beach. We got to keep everybody safe as the race boats come out, and they're heading back out.
Kurt, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to beautiful Sugden Regional Park, Lake Avalon Powerboat Nationals, now just minutes away from qualifying. Time trials right around the corner. Nearly a dozen boats on the water here today, fans, getting ready to go out and do single lap time trial qualifying. How they do in that qualifying will determine how they line up for the first of 2 heat races today. So now's the time. If you wanted to get to the cooler, get yourself a cold drink, get yourself something to eat. We're going to have these boats lined up lickety-splickety. Get ready to rock and roll here on Lake Avalon. How about a nice round of applause for all of our friends with Pro Hydrocross, all the stuff they did on the water today. Fantastic action out there. While we wait for the adjustments on the race course to be complete, fans, Powerboat Nationals racing their Formula 4 series here today. Formula 4 racing coming up here. Formula 4 boats. Powerboat Nationals. These are tunnel hull catamaran style boats. The goal of this boat is to have as little boat in the water as humanly possible. They'll actually be out here on the race course with nothing but the propeller in the water. You have to be very careful as I see the palm trees start to move here in beautiful Sugden Regional Park. A little bit of a gust of wind can have that boat go airborne. Here they come onto the course, fans. We can see the black 27 of Carlos Mendana, followed by 191 of Jake Alcama, a Rookie of the Year contender. Thomas Schlarb in the 47 right behind him. The boats are making their way to the beach, where they will line up, and then one at a time they will navigate this course here on Lake Avalon. Obviously, the boat with the best time will gain pole position for the first of 2 heat races. Powerboat Nationals Formula 4 qualifying. These boats will get 1 lap to qualify. Indianapolis 500 gives their drivers 4 laps. NASCAR gives their drivers 2 laps. Powerboat Nationals, who have 1 shot on the race course to qualify for the first of the season. Around the race course on the clock. Then we'll line them up for the first 2 heat races here on Lake Avalon. Fans, you're watching Powerboat Nationals racing. If you have a cell phone, please pull it out. Powerboat Nationals. Be sure to give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. If you have a subscription to YouTube, make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We've been posting video all weekend long, behind-the-scenes interviews with some of the drivers, some of our fantastic officials we have. I believe we're still waiting on a few of the boats to come off the trailer. Once we have all the boats out here on the beach, we will turn them loose one at a time on the race course. Powerboat Nationals headquartered out of Columbus, Ohio. Incredibly honored and privileged to be here in Florida today, the great state of Florida. We've raced in Ohio, West Virginia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Kentucky this year, Tennessee this year. This is our season finale, and this is our global championship for the Formula 4s. I hear a few of the engines in the pits still turning over. They're still working on a couple of the boats, struggling to get them out here onto the beach, to get them out here in time for qualifying. Once again, fans, single lap qualifying here. If you're online, please visit us at powerboatnationals.com. Again, links to all of our social media are right there. Give us a like, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch video from all of our races this year as well as last year. Behind-the-scenes interviews, highlights from our races, onboard footage, fans. You've got to check out the onboard footage from the top of these boats. Powerboat Nationals Formula 4 boats will reach speeds in excess of 75 miles per hour. On a day like today with very little wind, very little chop on top of Lake Avalon, we'll be seeing some screaming speeds here. Entering onto the race course, the 67 boat of Jim Kerr, rookie in Powerboat Nationals competition. One of our drivers that's doing double duty this year, Jim Kerr from Gibraltar, Michigan. He's a rookie in our Formula 2 class, was in the running for Rookie of the Year there. He's hopped into the 67 boat that belongs to Leland Broge. Leland Broge raced half the season in this boat, but he's a student, he's a college student, was called back to school. So once classes start, Jim Kerr hopped into this boat, and now he's going to attempt to qualify here on Lake Avalon. Jim Kerr trims it up, drops the throttle, crosses the line. Jim Kerr is now on the clock. The Gibraltar, Michigan driver heading now into turn 1. Drop the throttle, drop the trim, hook that boat around the turn. Now out of turn 2, fans. On the backstretch, 67, Jim Kerr. Jim Kerr now going through that tight turn 3. Triangular course here on Lake Avalon. Kerr now throttle down the whole way. Here he comes across the line, and we'll get a time. Jim Kerr with a 34.70. Jim Kerr on the pole. Congratulations, Jim. Thomas Schlarb in the 47 having some trouble in turn 4. He was just scooping with this. Back on the throttle he comes. Thomas Schlarb now. He's going to cross the line. And the Canfield, Ohio driver now on the clock. Thomas Schlarb's real job is a thermal engineer. So we got a smart cookie in the cockpit out there. Schlarb now on the backstretch. He's got to trim that boat a little bit more, fans. Remember what I said, more boat in the water means less speed.
Dear adrenaline addict, the Pro Watercross World Championships are back in Naples, October 26th to November 4th. Are you ready for some fast-paced, high-flying, wet and wild action? How about incredible adventure and one-of-a-kind fun? Whether you prefer to thrill or chill, Florida's Paradise Coast has a whole week full of watercraft competition. So come on out and make a splash. We'll save a beach chair for you. Love, Paradise. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.